Alrighty, friends, we are back. Your favorite podcast of the week. It's Location Weekly. It's episode number 599. Yes, we're just one away from the magic 600, and we are recording on December the 13th. It's a good day. How are you, Abriana?
I am good. It is a good day, it's sunny and cold. I don't mind the cold as long as it's sunny. I will take it. And we're like almost to the holidays, and Hanukkah and Christmas are at the same time this year. And just like my mom's coming this week. So I just have a lot to be excited about. I'm a happy woman today. How are you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, same here. It's sunny and cold, and I don't mind that at all. And like it's kind of there seems to be a lot of positivity the last couple of weeks, just with the holidays. But then, like even this morning, I woke up and read about the announcements in the U.S. scientific community about nuclear fusion achievements and crazy things about that we can look forward to. So good things to look forward to. So
Got to
and
celebrate those
we got to
things.
celebrate those. So maybe that'll even happen, in our lifetime that we can power our homes with that. That would be cool.
Amazing.
But yeah, no, things are good. Just kind of, another week and a half or so of just, business stuff, and then maybe take a little bit of a break and we'll go from there. But
Yes.
yeah, so we have four stories as usual. And I'll let Abriana start us off.
All right. So let's start with one coming from Walmart. They have launched a new website called Trend Getter, and it's using virtual search or visual search, I should say, to assist in the shopping for consumers. So helping with like finding certain things on the website. So they're using the image recognition from Google's vision image recognition technology. And the shopper can look for this on its website and display the options and the prices. And basically the way that it works from a user flow perspective is that the consumer would go to Trend Getter website and either take a picture of the item they want and upload it, from an image on a device, or you could probably like screenshot it. My thinking here is this is very similar to sort of how you would do a visual search on Pinterest, right? So they're adding this capability. They're saying it's similar to that of Honey, which is the discounting app that PayPal acquired. And they have like that plugin that you can use as a, Safari extension on mobile, or a Chrome extension, I believe, is offered as well, which I do use that sometimes. Occasionally it serves me well. But Trend Getter is offering that, kind of similar. I've never used Honey as an actual visual search, which is interesting that they call that out. In this article, but really Trend Getter is also offering something that's similar and competitive to the virtual try on. So what Amazon Fashion and Snapchat did, where they let customers explore and shop and try on all of these different types of eyewear and different styles. Now that's also going to be available through Trend Getter. So, I think this is a great development, as well, first of all, there's not really Walmarts near New York City. You'd have to go to Jersey. So it's rare that I actually go into a Walmart anymore. But even when I'm definitely happy to order from Walmart, and occasionally I try to do that because there are some good bargains there and some cost-effective ways of shopping. But I find that the mobile app specifically and their website, it just tends to be very overwhelming. It's very hard to find things on it. And it's like terribly difficult to narrow down from a user experience perspective. Like, what do they actually have in the store? And I want to eliminate maybe like the tens of thousands of other products that they offer through their online service a lot of times that they can just get. So I think it's really hard. And I think this is a step in the right direction and kind of streamlining that a little bit. And as I mentioned, like I use this often on Pinterest, and I think it's kind of hit or miss on how effective it is. But I do feel like we're seeing advancements here. And I think this is like a great thing that Walmart should be definitely doing. And it will be helpful probably for people who are looking for something specific, or something like maybe a more expensive item that they're looking for a bargain on. So I like this rollout. And so I plan on checking this out, Trend Getter. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I'm a big proponent of visual search. I think it's, sort of a simple, convenient, very sort of user centric way to, find things. I guess where I hesitate a little bit on this is that, I would prefer that, like, there was an option where, let's say, the trend getter piece was built into the Walmart app, like into a scanner of some sort. Like, so like, just like you would, scan a QR code, instead hold your camera lens up over an object or an item, and it then takes you to, something similar, or the item itself, if that's what Walmart carries, or makes recommendations from there. But I get that, it's a pure web play. And, I think that makes sense. I'm with you. Like, I've used Honey before too. And I've never used it in a visual way. Like, to me, it's a plugin that, finds you discounts on stuff. But, that doesn't mean it doesn't have good functionality from that point of view. So, but yeah, overall, I like it. I think it's, especially when, this time of year when retailers are trying to, capture that share of wallet in the holiday season, it makes a ton of sense to be, trying to make people's lives that much easier and simpler. There you go.
Yeah.
Speaking of the holidays, moving to our next story now. So we're going to jump over to Los Angeles and Westfield, in particular, the Westfield Century City Mall. I've been to this mall a few times over the years. And between now and December 24th, if you have a dog or cat, you can drop by, and they have a vending machine that you go up to and you answer a few questions about your pet, that determines, sort of which food or treats, that might be applicable to your particular pet, based on their personality. And then when you answer a few questions on the touch screen, the machine dispenses a free treat, a little Christmas treat, for your pet. And this includes treats from some of their brands like Beggin, Prime, Dentalife, and others. That's for dogs. And then for cats, there's Fancy Feast Savory Treats, or Friskies Party Mix. And it encourages you to post a photo of your pet enjoying their treat on social media channels with the hashtag Purina Seasons Treatings. Very cute tagline there. So I like this. And the other thing I like about it is where it is in the mall is also close to the holiday market that they've set up in the mall, and where you can get your photos with Santa and ice skating and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like you and your kids, if you have kids, or just you, can go and kind of, experience a little bit of holiday cheer and joy. And at the same time, if you have a pet, you can bring your pet and they can also participate as well. So I like it.
Very LA, I'm assuming that pets can visit Santa too.
Yeah, probably.
No, I think this is really cute. I like that they're encouraging the social interaction. I like that there's, the variety of different pet foods there. I mean, I'm not sure who's like bringing their cat out shopping with them. That's a new one for me, but on the dogs, like that's fun. Yeah, so I think this is a fun campaign. It's good. I think they're hitting all the right notes, and it's like, it's definitely the right place and the right setting to have something set up like this.
Yeah, and it reminded me, I don't know if you remember, way back when, I mean, we're talking early days of the LBMA, like maybe 2012, 13, I don't know, somewhere around there. But there was a campaign in Germany with a organic pet food company called Granada, and they had set up a billboard, like at street level, like down right at sidewalk level, outdoors. And you could go up to this billboard with your pet and check into the billboard on Foursquare. And then on that check-in, it would dispense food or treats for your pet. So I feel like we've come full circle here with this now. So
yeah, I remember that. I wonder if anybody was just like checking in over and over again, and it was just like sending out all the food. That would be funny. Just keep taking it, package it up, take it home. Thanks, guys. All right, let's move on to our next story. And this is coming from Viral Gains, which is a Boston-based company and an ad platform. And they specialize in zero-party data gathering, and they're partnering with LiveRamp to expand the reach of their privacy-safe audiences, what they're calling privacy-safe audiences. So Viral Gains offers these solutions, and they intend to help marketers collect information through like a willingly, I would say, through conversational ads and content. And then they translate that data into what they're calling zero party audiences and voice alike audiences. So this is based on inferred data. And now LiveRamp, obviously, as a marketplace, is going to make that data available to everyone that they can distribute to, right? Which is a lot of the advertising industry. And I think, we've continued to talk about this. We will continue to talk about this, the privacy changes like Apple's app tracking transparency and Google's elimination of third-party cookies on Chrome and all the things that are making it harder to have this deterministic data and for advertisers to target consumers based on like digital behavior, I should say. So, as that's becoming increasingly difficult, they're looking to position this partnership kind of as like their solution to these challenges. I think, one other thing is that they're claiming that these Viral Gains voice-alike audiences are outperforming third-party segments based on specific KPIs like brand lift, click-through rate, and on-site actions. I think that like anything that improves lift is great, and we see that there's any type of targeting traditionally improves lift, and then you can continue to improve that with like different methodologies, machine learning, all of those different things that can happen. And then marketers are going to be able to use the data that is like spanning over 250 million consumers. So there was an article on this that was put out on Street Fight. If you have not taken a look at that yet, I encourage you, our listeners, to go take a look at that. Joseph Zappa wrote this, and I thought it was really well written, how he just calls out, some of the facts that, you need to know about, like what's happening, what is zero party data. And in essence, I would say like a summary is that zero party data maybe is a step in a privacy centric approach, but it doesn't necessarily solve all of the privacy problems, nor does it solve potentially all of the tech changes that keep happening. And then there's differences, right? Like what we say we do versus what we actually do. Sometimes that data is different, right? You might say like, you might say at the doctor, I only have one drink a week, but you might have a few cocktails on an evening with, friends here and there or something. So what we say we do, what we opt in, I think tends to be different than what, those actual digital interactions can prove. So, I think that there's some challenges maybe in this approach. And I also think that, from a LiveRamp perspective, that they're sort of trying to understand what their long-term relevancy is going to be, because we've seen more and more advertisers moving towards relying more on their first party data, working directly with like their DSP of choice through data clean rooms, perhaps, or some type of DMP integration. So I think that as we see more and more advancements there's going to be a bigger challenge for folks like LiveRamp and audience creators that are just going through those marketplaces to maintain relevance and continue to have that reach. And so this is, to me, interesting, but I don't see this as something that has like a lot of longevity behind it from a product standpoint in the market. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with most of what you said there. I think there is a place for zero party data in the current sort of ecosystem that we're in. But at the end of the day, it is a big leap between where we've been in first party and understanding people's behavior versus, zero party in terms of what they say, that they're doing or what their interests are. And, there's a lot of potential I think there's a lot of potential for fraud in that type of a scenario, maybe even more so than the fraud that we had in the first party scenario. So I think there's definitely challenges there. And I think that what we're seeing as well is there's a lot of these brands are figuring out new ways to kind of just go direct to consumer and build sort of more, personal relationships, with their customers. And I think the other thing too is like, when you do that, I think you also have the ability to, tap into, creating your own media networks, right? Like we've talked about on the show, like a lot of the big retailers, Kroger, CVS, all these guys are building their own media networks inside of their stores, and then making that available to brands as a different way to reach audiences. So I think you're going to have sort of a hybrid scenario in the next little while, where you've got people still doing first party, some people doing zero party, and some people kind of just opening up their own, retail environments as ad networks. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. All right. Our final story, moving into the gas retail space. Chevron has made an announcement that they're with around a new rewards program and payment system. So they've launched new apps for both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And if you have a car with one of these apps enabled in it, then you can pay for your fuel purchase directly from your dashboard infotainment system. You can do this at any Chevron or Texaco station. So it's all about, sort of making it easy for people to, pay and not have to even, go up to the machine and insert your card or tap your cards or those kinds of things. You can pay, through obviously a mobile wallet that's integrated into your Apple Pay or your Android Pay or those types of systems, all built into your car dashboard system. In addition to this, there's a new kind of rewards program as well. So the apps, have the ability to search for stations, what amenities they have. You can add car washes to your transactions, or other things like that. And then you can earn points, if there's a sort of points program tied to your purchases. I know up here in Canada where I am, I get a lot of my gas at a national retailer called Petro Canada. And the interesting thing there is that, I bank at the Royal Bank of Canada, and there's a linkage between my debit card that I use for payments today and my rewards program at Petro Canada. So it's actually every time I use that card to pay, there's an additional 3 cents per liter that's taken off of the price of what I pay for fuel, because of that linkage between the programs. So I think there's, we're seeing a lot more of these types of rewards programs and ways to sort of streamline partnerships between payment platforms and retailers. So I think this is kind of interesting. I love these kinds of things when it's just kind of about convenience for the consumer. Any thoughts from you?
Well, what I like about this is that it's actually the gas station that's taking the initiative versus it being more from the car side. And so I think that when it starts, from the actual retailer, then you have a broader experience, right? Where it's not like, okay, I'm Mercedes, and because I have a Mercedes, now I can pay through my car. It's like, we're going to open this up potentially for, everyone who's going to this specific gas station, and has this capability within their vehicle. So I like it from that aspect. I think the adoption rate will be higher. And I think that it's just like, I do like the convenience of it, and being able to kind of have everything right there within one system is obviously good from a consumer standpoint. But again, I think we're really like at the early days of this, and there's still so many cars that don't have that interface in them. I mean, I drive an older car. I don't have to drive a lot. So, I'm like kind of down to the bare bones here. So I would love that type of a feature, but I think that having the flexibility to use that through your in-car system as well as your phone is just like creating those multi-touch points and flexible options. So I like it.
There you go. Well, that's it. That's our show for this week. Thank you for listening and watching, everyone. Of course, we'll be back next week with episode 600. Yes, 600. Yeah, if you have story ideas, reach out to us. If you have feedback, we want to hear about that too. Give us some likes and some love on whatever platform you're consuming this on. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Have a great week, everybody. And, if you're watching the World Cup, I don't know who you're cheering for at this point, but I'm going for Morocco. So let's do it.
Sounds good.
All right. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.